Hey guys, it's Gabby from the travel blog Packs Light, here to give you some tips on solo travel. When I was growing up, I really didn't think solo travel, especially for women, was a unique or like a topic that would need to be talked about. It was kind of normal because, one, my dad was in the military, so he moved around a lot. I lived out of suitcases and hotel rooms and did trips when we lived in Japan. We did trips when we lived out there. Like, it was normal. So, and number two, my mother is a travel agent, so she loved travel too. It's a family affair. I grew up thinking it was normal, like shelter or water. So I didn't think it was weird, but as I grew up, I realized people don't have the same privileges that I do. A concept. So, I just want to share my tips. Number one tip would be, obviously, to do your research, and there are more unique ways to do it than I think most people when it comes to mind for most people. My favorite way to do my research for a trip or a place that I want to go to is actually on Instagram. And what I'll do is I'll search, if I want to go to South Africa, Johannesburg, I'll say hashtag Johannesburg and look in the Instagram search bar, and then it'll show me people who live there or people who are visiting there right now. So it's a very current picture of what it would be like to be in Johannesburg right now if I'm going right now. So I'll search that and I'll look at what people are wearing. Is it cold? Is it hot? How should I pack? What are people taking pictures in front of? Maybe there's a huge museum exhibit that's gorgeous right now that I need to visit, or maybe the beaches, or this one restaurant or this one club that I need to go to. So that's my favorite way to do research, is Instagram search bar through hashtags. Other obvious ways, Google is your friend. Travel bloggers, we are here for you. Go on my website, type in something, type in Spain, type in Japan, something will pop up, and read, what is it called? Crowdsource answers. So post on Instagram stories, post on your Snapchat stories, does anyone use Snapchat? Post on your Facebook and just ask, hey, I'm going to Riyadh. Has anyone been? Does anyone know anyone there I could meet up with? Does anyone have any advice? People are down to help you. So, in that vein, ask a friend. If you know someone who just came back from study abroad in Bangkok and you're going to Bangkok, don't be afraid to reach out to them and ask them about their experiences. My second piece of advice would be that you don't have to go all the way to Riyadh or South Africa to be a woman who travels solo. You can be a woman who travels solo 2 miles from your house. Start locally. You don't have to buy a plane ticket or make a huge announcement that you're going to Thailand for a month by yourself and you have no plans, and you have to do it like the rugged, wild way. You don't need to do all that. Go into your own town. I live in Washington, D.C. I would go into the center of Washington, D.C., get an Airbnb, and then explore for the weekend. So start locally. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It can just be a weekend away. My third tip, things do happen if you do go internationally. Like me, when I do solo travel, I'm at the point where I want to make it worth it. So I'm going across the world by myself. I'm going to Republic of Georgia. Let's go. Safety measures that I like to take. So products that I love. Okay, number one, alarm door stopper. It's somewhere in my room, but I'm not gonna look for it right now. Alarm door stopper. So shove it under your front door, or the main door of your hotel, your apartment, Airbnb. And if, not saying when, definitely not when, I've never had this happen to me, I've never had to use the alarm door stopper, but if someone tried to open your door, it would set off a crazy, psychotically loud alarm that would scare them into running away, because it would alert the entire universe that someone's trying to get in your room. So that just gives me peace of mind. Most of these tips are for peace of mind, not actually because I've had to use them. So alarm door stopper. Number two, RFID passport. Put your passport in that thing, and it's RFID protected, so if anyone has those credit card or information scanners, they walk past you, it won't scan your information or take your credit card number. That's dope. Number three, an RFID fanny pack. So you put the fanny pack on under your shirt, like a stomach belt, higher up than your waist is. Usually I put under my bra, and then put your stuff in there. And so when I was out in Cartagena in Colombia, I didn't want to carry around a purse. I was salsing, I was drinking. I didn't want to have to worry about it. So I put it under there. I was wearing a loose t-shirt, dance at the bar, only $5. Boop, boop. You have it out and it's RFID protected, like I said, so if you're in somewhere where they do have that happening, you're protected. Some of my favorite apps that I, as a solo woman, do not travel without having downloaded: Google Translate, essential. Maps, so you can download maps to any city or area that you're going to, and you can use those maps while your phone is offline. So if, God forbid, there's no Wi-Fi, you can still have maps and know where you're going and not be completely stranded. There are some emergency apps that you can download. I don't have any off the top of my head, but they can have, like, if you have any health issues, like a nut allergy that you forget about and you eat nuts, or if you have seizures or something, your medical information will pop up on your phone, and any emergency services can read it and know what's going on, or just have your information, know your blood type, know your name, know your medical history, stuff like that. So I think that's important. My number one app that I love is Google Voice. Google Voice will give you a custom number. So I live in Washington, D.C. The area code is 202. If I don't want a 202 one, I can get one area code, like a phone number from Northern Virginia, which is 703. It gives you the rest of the numbers, and then so when people call that number, it goes through the app to your phone. So it arrives like a regular phone call, but they don't know your real number. So I like to give that out when I'm traveling, absolutely, or on a Tinder date or two. Because you don't want to have people that have your real number and they can trace all other sorts of information or like track your number and stuff. So Google Voice, I love that. Number 4, tip for solo women who want to travel: insurance. I say insurance and then it's like, what'd you say? I'm like, insurance. You have to have insurance. If you cannot afford travel insurance, you cannot afford to travel. Because if you cannot afford travel insurance, then you cannot afford a broken leg in Venezuela. Like, you have to protect your stuff, or you can't afford to replace all your belongings that are in your suitcase when it gets sent to Milan instead of Rome. Like, you have to have insurance. My travel insurance I have through my credit card, Chase Sapphire Reserve. I love that credit card. Travel, credit card, great points. So I have insurance through that, but also my favorite private travel insurance company is ISIC, ISIC Travel Insurance. You can Google it, you'll find it. It's geared towards younger travelers, so you can be, I think, 16 to 30 and have this insurance. It's for youngins. And if you're a teacher, they have a teacher version where you can be any age, and if you're a teacher, you can have it. But basically, it's for students and teachers or young adults. It's like that range. Number 5, tip for women who want to travel solo is to be mindful about what accommodations that you book. So basically, if you're a solo traveler, you don't have to stay in a hostel. I don't stay in a hostel because I'm bougie, and I've done this for a while, and I know how to find cheap accommodations, usually through Airbnb or Booking.com. So I don't stay in hostels because I don't like sharing bathrooms. So, but your accommodation depends on what type of traveler you are and what type of trip you're looking to have. So if you are an extrovert, if you're more comfortable around people, like sleeping around people in a new place, if you're in Berlin and you have no idea and you just feel more comfortable having people around you to ask questions to, if you have no itinerary and you want to have easy access to people who can do stuff with you, if you like commotion and energy, if you like, if you don't have many valuables in your suitcase, if you are on a super tight budget, then a hostel would be fantastic for you. Go for it. They are great. If you're like me, if you like a private space to call your own, if you are an introvert and just need a private space after a day of exploring, you want to come home to like quiet, peace, and like nothing's been touched, you're a little bit OCD like me. If you have valuables, I always travel with my laptop, my camera, my phone, my perfume. Then a more private accommodation, more like an Airbnb, the entire house, would be great for you, or Booking.com, VRBO. Those are great sites that you can get the entire apartment by yourself. If you cook a lot, instead of staying in a hostel and spending more on food because you can't cook there, or you can cook there, but I stay in an Airbnb and cook most of my meals in the Airbnb while I'm traveling, and then just splurge on like 1 or 2 huge meals a day in the local cuisine. So, be mindful of your accommodations. Number 6, Facebook groups. I love Facebook. And I'm not 16. I don't know why my generation thinks Facebook is only for old people and family, but it's not. It's for young people and apparently travelers. So I love Facebook groups because I can always find people to connect with. So if I'm solo traveling and I'm like, I don't want to be very solo right now, I want some friends, I'll go in a Facebook group, and my favorites are the one that I run, Millennials on the Move. Search it in the Facebook search bar and you'll find it. Add yourself if you're a young traveler. It's the Young Travelers Network. Mine, Girls Love Travel, is great for finding other women who are usually solo travelers, and the Solo Female Travel Network are great. All great Facebook groups to find fellow solo travelers or people who live locally where you're going. My number 7 tip for solo traveling women would be to do this. Do what we're doing right now. You need to have a dialogue with someone. Even if you're an introvert like me, the unknown produces fear and anxiety. That's normal. You don't have to let it consume you, but it is there. So you need to vlog, blog, post on Facebook, call your mom, phone a friend. Like, you have to have a dialogue, have a journal. Journaling is great. You know, just like to get those emotions out and just to reflect on your trip and make sure that you're staying present in the moment as you travel. I think that sort of dialogue, that venting, is essential for a woman traveling solo. Those are my main 7 tips. You know, a bonus tip is to share it on social media. And you don't have to do that. If you don't want to, absolutely don't. But sharing your story could inspire another woman to travel solo. And I think that's what I'm doing. That could be our mission together. Not everyone is meant for solo travel. Not everyone has to solo travel, but I don't want solo travel to seem inaccessible or scary or like impossible for women, because we can do it. That's my piece. Those are my 7, I don't have fingers, 7 huge tips for solo traveling women. Hope you enjoyed them. You can follow me on Instagram at PaxLight, YouTube at PaxLight, Facebook at PaxLight. I'm at PaxLight. I'm Gabby PaxLight. Thanks for watching. See you later.